Hey, what's up you guys? It's Eddie. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are being welcomed back and not just welcomed, which by the way, if you are new to the channel, welcome. But if you aren't new, welcome back. You might be confused. I gaslit all of you. I know, I changed my branding on everything, but it's like the exact same images. I just changed my username, so it looks exactly the same, but like with the very subtle username change. So if you're confused, I did a rebrand again. I really didn't want to. I waited a really long time, but I kind of didn't like Six Studios almost as soon as I posted it. I liked how it sounded audibly, but after changing everything and realizing like, hey, I can't have the same username on every single platform anymore, and also I didn't realize that so many other people had similar brand names that when I searched myself up on YouTube to like share a tutorial with a friend or something, I'm not coming up anymore, which is bad. If you're trying to get your work out there and you search your username and you don't see you, that's a problem. It was a really big problem that I was having, because it wasn't just like one other person who does like drastically different things from me. It was like, no, all these other different artists or all these other like different kinds of artists, but essentially I'm way down in the search. Okay, that wasn't great. That wasn't good for me. So I changed it to Eddie Scribs because it's my Tumblr tag. What do you mean Tumblr tag? On Tumblr, you can post your own posts, and you can also do reblogs. So a lot of people do a personalized hashtag on their blog, so you can search that up and find all of their own personal content instead of seeing like all their reblogs and their posts from other people. So that's what I have on there. Mine was Eddie Scripts. I thought it was really cute, and then I realized when I was posting one day, hey, that is pretty cute. What if? I search on Instagram, nothing. I search on TikTok, nothing. YouTube, nothing. Not just nothing, but nothing to the point of like, not just like no similar usernames or anything. I was straight up getting error messages of like, I don't know what you want. Please search something else. Like, we have nothing for you, which is great because that means if I change my username to that, I'm the only thing that's going to come up, right? Or at least I'll come up much higher than, if I were to search it just the way that I have been before. So I changed it on everything. Huzzah. But you guys aren't here to listen to that. You guys are here to listen to me tell you about how I found my art style, right? Because maybe you're struggling with that. I've been getting a lot of questions about it, interestingly enough. I'm not sure why, but there's just been an influx of people going, oh my god, I love your art style. How did you get that? How did you get that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Why do you want to know? You like it or something? Which is cool. So it's been nice to hear you guys say you like my style so much that you want to know how I found it. You want to know how I found it? Stealing. I stole it, okay? That's all art is. I'm so serious. 90% of art is copying other artists to the point where you've copied so much that no one can tell anymore that you've copied. Okay, let me explain. So a big thing that you'll find growing up as an artist, how to draw books. They're teaching you how to copy. You take an art class. Oh, you're doing a master's study? Guess what? You're copying. You are training your brain to recognize patterns and shapes and how other people put things together so that you can train your visual library and kind of like put things together collectively so that you can do it on your own. You copy so much that now you don't have to copy anymore. Okay? So this is all well and dandy and fine initially if you're trying to copy an art style. For example, you're doing a style study, right? Say, I really like Sarah Tepes. I want to learn how to draw the way that she does. I'm going to copy her style. I'm not going to like copy it and then post it and be like, this is my art style. But I could, copy one of her illustrations and be like, okay, style study of Sarah Tepes. Also, if you're going to do something like this, make sure that you don't post it unless artists have specified that they're totally fine with that, because some artists do, like, they are very precious with their art style and they'll be like, please don't like repost, or like, if you do a style study, please like don't post it and like claim it as your own or whatever. Very particular about that. But like, it is absolutely okay to look at an artist and study their work, okay? But even doing that, just sitting there looking at an illustration and replicating it is not going to help you develop your art style. It's going to help you develop your library, but if you can only copy what other people do, you're not going to get into finding your own art style. So how do you refine it? How do you make it so that it's your own thing? The way that I personally have started viewing it is kind of like everything starts out as being a copycat until you start picking little things to copy, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use a few examples. I'm going to use a few examples from my personal style, explain why I do them that way, explain where I got them, and then eventually you'll see like, oh, all of these things combined made an art style. So starting off, the first thing that I sort of noticed, just going off of my personal taste and the work that I was consuming, the styles that I was studying very frequently were digital art. For the most part, I was looking at a lot of Copic speed paints as a child, but like when I came to like really seriously start thinking about making art intentionally and not just as a hobby, it became a lot of digital art, but not just digital art, specifically really painterly styles. Again, like Sarah Tepes, like Loish, like Kiwi Bird. Kiwi Bird is one of my artistic saviors. I will get into that. But you know, artists like that where they have a very painterly, smooth style. So I was absorbing a lot. Oh, Siren! I miss Siren so bad. I loved her YouTube videos. Where is she? Please post again, queen. Oh my god. Her Psy videos. Obsessed. So I was looking at artists like these. I was really enjoying them. I wanted to paint like that. So my work started to reflect that. I started to, you know, in my own personal work, try to do more painterly stuff. Okay, there's the first moments of my style. But now I'm like, okay, I know I want to paint, but like, you know, I don't really know how to do that. I'm just like using the F out of the smudge tool and everything's looking like really weird, or like using like all of these Paint Tool Psy blending brushes that I found on tumblr.com, and I can't use them the way that the artists on the post are using them. What am I doing wrong? So I'm following these tutorials, right? I'm looking at Kiwi Bird tutorials. I'm like, how does this person do it? Okay, that's how I'm gonna start doing it. So now I'm doing digital painting, but I'm following this particular artist's method for rendering certain things. Okay, now I can kind of follow that method, but I'm not really a fan of like the shapes that I'm using or like the stiffness of my illustrations. Then what do? Okay, I'm gonna start practicing. I'm gonna start looking at references. I'm gonna start finding like more flowy things and incorporating that, trying to like train my brain into you know, studying forms and stuff like that. Okay, now I've got this, but now I'm just kind of like following this particular person's style. I want something that's a little bit more unique to myself. Now, this is where I go and I start looking at all of these other artists. I'm inspired by Sarah Tepes. I'm inspired by Loish. I'm inspired by I'm a Wonder, Kelsey Beckett. And now I'm going to merge them all together. Okay, so Sarah Tepes, I really liked how flowy her style was, but I also particularly, this was something that I saw in one of her speed paints. She like did a little highlight on the nose and dappled the light, and was like, I like to do this because it gives the illusion that there's texture to the skin. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cute and very simple. I will now be doing that. So now I'm using Kiwi Bird's skin tutorial, but I'm using a little bit of Sarah Tepes highlighting style. Okay, merge those together. It looks great. I love that. I'm obsessed. A couple of years later, I'm watching an Alicia and I video, and she's like, oh, I really like to do harsh shadows around like the cheeks, like you guys see in my videos, where like I kind of start the shading a little bit more inward. I don't like start shading directly from the side of the jaw. I like to go inward because I saw that in an Alicia and I video, so I started doing that. Then Kelsey Beckett, I was watching one of her reels and I saw her do a colored pencil piece, and then she took gel pen and did really, really light, soft hatching all the way down the sides of the face to like, again, like I think give some illusion that there's texture to the skin, but also like that subtle highlight was so soft and pretty that I was like obsessed. I will be stealing that. I'm gonna start doing that. So all of those things merged together and like, oh, look at that. That's how I render skin now. And then with hair, it was like, okay, I watched Kiwi Bird's hair tutorial as a child. It's stuck in my brain. I copied that so much. I studied it to death, right? And then I was like, well, okay, I like this, but now I kind of like more chunkiness to the hair. I don't like to render as detailed anymore. So what am I gonna do? Oh, I notice in anime sometimes they shade the bottom of the hair and the top of the hair a little bit darker, and then they leave this highlight around the middle. Okay, I'm gonna do that, but then I'm gonna take still from Kiwi Bird and kind of blend down and get that feathery motion the same way that I used to draw with Copic markers back when I would watch Copic tutorials 24/7 as a child. So now I've got all of these inspirations that I'm using. Okay, that's how I do hair now. Clothes, I go on Pinterest.com. I go on Pinterest.com, I go to my outfit board and I copy clothes. Because I don't know how to stylize. I don't know how to stylize. Please. Stylos. I don't know how to stylos those yet. I'm still learning, okay? I don't understand clothes to me. They're hard. And they scare me. But you know, you can see like for the main, especially as a portrait artist, face, hair, skin, eyeballs. That's the most important. Oh, eyeballs. I got those from Tumblr, or not Tumblr. I got those from TikTok / technically rednote.com, because I was seeing all of these people that were like, look at the way they do these airbrush eyes on Rednote. They are gorgeous. And I was like, yes, they are. I'm gonna do that. So I started doing that. And I love it. Little highlights. I change my highlights all the time because I'll see somebody be like, oh, I like to put chromatic aberration on my highlights because I think it's pretty. So I was doing that for months. And then I saw somebody, I don't remember who, this was just a random TikTok in passing, that does really small highlights on the top of the eye. And I was like, that's gorgeous. I'm going to start doing that. And my highlights change all the time, so I can't say who I got it from or where. It's just every once in a while I will see a TikTok and I will be like, I will be doing it like that now. So really the way to develop your style is, like I said at the very beginning of the video, find little tiny things. Really look at an artist's work. Oh, my side nose highlights, lowish. I've been doing that for years. Look at all of these artists that you're inspired by. Be like, what is it about their style? Or maybe like you're watching their process and you catch them doing something. You're like, oh my God, it's really that simple. I'm going to start doing that. Really study. Be like, what is it that I like about this person's work? And can I incorporate that into my own work? If you're somebody that does a lot of cell shading, but you're inspired by somebody who does painterly work, maybe be like, okay, I don't paint, but I love the colors that they're using. So maybe I can do that in my style. You know, I don't have to blend everything so softly, but maybe instead of using, you know, black for my harsh highlights, I can use like a gradient of like blue and purple, and, you know, kind of soften that, but still have that, you know, harsh shadow, still have that cell shading. It's really just a matter of like, why do I like the stuff that I like? And can I do it in my own stuff? And then when you blend it all together, it's your own thing, because you've pulled everything from all of these different inspirations. And nobody's gonna have the exact same inspirations that you are. You know, I might like Sarah Tepes and like I'm a Wonder and all these other artists, and you might also like Sarah Tepes and I'm a Wonder, but you might also like random artists who I can't name because I don't know them, because I don't follow them. Maybe you like somebody that does like League splash art. I don't play League of Legends. I still have not watched Arcane, so I don't know any of these characters. I don't know any of these artists that do them, but I'm sure they're really pretty. My brother showed me a poster several years ago that I was like, that's cool. I don't know who that is, but it looks cool. So maybe you're inspired by a League splash artist. So you're going to have some inspirations from some of the ones that I'm inspired by. And you're going to have some from people that I don't know. And that's going to make it your own thing. Or maybe you're inspired by the exact same artist that I am, but you're inspired by different parts of their style. So maybe like, rather than liking Kelsey Beckett's highlights, you like the way that she paints hair or something like that. Everybody's gonna have kind of like a different vibe, a different thing that they like, that they're going to take from and then blend into your own thing. So it's really, for the most part, a subconscious thing, but if you can try to make it conscious, I think it will help you develop your style a little bit quicker. Don't sit there and be like, I want to develop my style, I'm going to force it. Think of it more as like okay, you're studying, you're learning, you're blending, and it's going to change over time. It's going to change over time. It's not going to change overnight. Don't like take this video, go like search every single artist that you're obsessed with, pick a thing, and then try to blend it into one illustration. Maybe you can as like a good like learning study, but like don't sit there, do that, and then be like, this is my art style, and then get frustrated when you can't replicate it. It's more of like a thing that develops very slowly over time. Even my style is constantly changing. I just changed the way I do eyeshadow, not like makeup, but like the way that I render the shadow in the eye. I used to just take a multiply layer and airbrush over it, but now I've been taking that same thing. I've been doing a multiply layer, doing a harsh, or not a harsh shadow, I'll airbrush it, but then I will make it harsh by taking my line art brush, darkening that same color that I used for the shadow, and then doing a harsh line underneath it. Because I think it looks really cool. I think it looks sharp. I think it looks edgy. I think it looks nice. I think it adds like a lot of depth to an illustration when I do it that way now. I didn't even get that from anybody. I just was like, this is cool. I'm going to start doing it now because I think I like it. I did it on accident, I think, on one of them. And then I was like, I'm going to actually do that on purpose now, intentionally. And that developed a part of my style. So come to it with the knowledge that it's always going to change, that you're not going to develop it right away, but you can make small changes to make your style more unique and use those inspirations to find your own stuff. I hope that made sense. If you guys are confused, I'm sure you are, leave a comment down below. I would be happy to explain anything that didn't make sense in this video. If you enjoyed it and you're still watching, leave a rabbit emoji so I know that you're still watching, because that's really cool and slay of you if you're this far into the video. Also, if you're this far into the video and you're new still, subscribe, please, because I know a lot of you aren't. And that's me. You can't be 17 minutes into this video hearing me talk about nothing and not subscribe. Clearly you like listening to me. Pretty please? Pretty please? It helps a lot. Thanks. Also, huge shout out to my patrons for making videos like this possible. Thank you for monetizing my rambling and supporting my work and like liking my art style enough to pay money for it. That's really cool of you guys. I love you. Next week is Patreon video. I'm so excited. Spoiler, it's like a little babushka goat. It's gonna be so cute. It's gonna be so cute. I'm really excited to render it. I hope you guys are excited to see it. If you want a chance to go and get that little goat in the mail, you can go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/AndyScribs. I just changed it. It's very cool, very slay. So if you're interested in that, that's there. Also, if you like the artwork you're seeing on screen and want to pay money for it, but in a different way called a commission, you can check out my commissions. It's artistry.io/EddieScribs. Yeah, that's Eddie Scripts there too. Surprise. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you still are, I love you. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.